Hi everybody and welcome to Nitrotek. I'm Neil and today we're going to be looking at the Dynam E-razor 250 XFP helicopter. It's a complete package ready to fly. This is the box. It's nice and small, compact and lightweight as you'd expect for a flight model. Let's open it up and check it out. So of course we're greeted with the instruction manual, and I have to say, having had the opportunity to read through this, there's some really good detailed information. It's written in very clear language and it's a joy to read. In fact, you can probably get absorbed by this before you even get to your helicopter. But there's a whole host of information here, stuff you need to check out before your first flight, and it's a really nice publication. I have to say, some exercises included towards the back once you start getting going with the helicopter, and of course spare parts pictured nicely with part numbers if you need them sometime in the future. So the instruction manual really quite nice. Okay, once you get past the lightweight foam packaging, obviously you can see we've got our helicopter here. Looks like we've got some spare blades. At the back here we've got what looks like the mains charger for our charger, and I'm guessing this is our charger as well. Notice we've got some LEDs here which are really useful to help indicate the state of charge of our battery. And we've got our battery here, for this is for the helicopter, the heli itself, and then we've got the radio here. So I'll just get everything out and we'll take a closer look. So starting off with the radio first, we've got a 2.4 gigahertz 4-channel stick radio, as you can see. Very nice positive actions on the stick. I like the metal knurling on the end of the stick. It really gives a positive feel to your thumb, so you're not going to slip off. It's really reassuring. Some LED power indicators across the top. For the batteries, it takes 8 AA batteries, and then across the bottom we've got a series of switches for the various controls of the helicopter. Now, one of the things that I really like is this loop in the centre. Now, personally, I use a neck strap and clip onto my radio, which is really a comfortable way to go, and obviously with the inclusion of that there is nice to see, so it gives you that option. The main battery for the helicopter, as you can see, it's 850 milliamp hours. It's a 7.42 cell LiPo affair, 15C, and you can buy spare ones of these as well. So if you want to get one on charge and whilst you're using the other one, then we have those available. But it comes with that, and nicely finished with the Velcro on the back, and we'll come on to that in a few moments. And of course our helicopter, we can't ignore this. This is what it's about after all. When you get it out, I think the first thing that strikes me is the width of the skids. Now, the wider you have the skids, the easier it is to land and take off. It gives that little bit more stability, and that was the first thing that really popped out for me. As well as, of course, we've got this metal rotor head, everything going on here. It really looks quite elegant and sturdy and well engineered. So let's take a closer look at the helicopter in more detail. Removing the canopy is very simple. It basically just held on with 2 grommets, one either side there, which hold on to these mounts on the helicopter itself. A very lightweight piece of design, and I think it looks very fetching in this blue finish. So it reveals the electronics of the helicopter itself. So what do we have? Well, of course we've got our main shaft here. Just forward of that we've got the main motor for the helicopter. Forward of that is the electronics, the receiver and what have you, the gyro. Then behind the main rotor we've got the 2 stacked up mini servos, and then beneath that we've got the main gear. Now, you will also be able to make out just in this gap that we've got another motor, and unusually we have a rear shaft driven blade for the tail rotor, and the idea is to keep the weight of the helicopter more centrally located. So the motor is here and then it's shaft driven out through this lovely finished boom all the way to the tail. Now the tail rotor is really quite nicely engineered. I like the plastics that have been used. They're rigid for to be effective, but flexible enough just to take a knock or two. Really quite nicely engineered, and as you can see, it's a fixed pitch on the rear, and you can just see the crown gear for the shaft drive. Now, viewing the helicopter from underneath for a moment, you can see we've got this little cage canopy here. So if I just pull that, this is the mount for the batteries, so you don't have to get the batteries in via taking the canopy off, so they just go into this little cradle underneath. And as you can see, the main gear is very accessible there, and then you can also see just behind the main gear we've got this nice heat sink for the tail motor. So the centre of this helicopter is really about the rotor head, and as you can see, it's beautifully engineered with the metallic parts. These linkages are all adjusted to fit perfectly. It's a real joy to look at, and that's before you've even got flying. Now, as you can see, this design has a fly bar, and that really makes it very well suited to those newcomers to this size of helicopter. A fly bar helps to take out some of the twitchiness that you can experience in with light gusts of breeze and what have you. So a really suitable design for people just getting started in this scale. So the Dynam E-razor 250 is a really great helicopter to go for in summary. It really would suit somebody who's moving up from one of those small micro helicopters into something a little bit bigger, but equally it's not going to daunt anybody who just wants to start out straight away with helicopter flight. Being 4-channel, it's about as simple as it gets. There's lots of adjustability in the helicopter and the radio to progress you as you get better with the flight controls. Again, with the flybar design, it's going to help with hone your skills with helicopter flight. I have to say that the battery is going to give you great run time, and like I say, you can add a second battery to your order, and there's no problem with that. Comes with this great balance charger. Radio is very intuitive to use, very simple. The only thing that you would actually need over and above what's in the package are batteries for the radio, and obviously you can use dry cell, but we do have a rechargeable format here, which are very inexpensive. If you are new, I would also highly recommend you get yourself some training legs. The whole concept of these supermodels is to learn and develop some new skills in the flight, and it's so rewarding when you do it. So take your time, read the manual, and it will repay you. It just 1000%, it will really, it really will. So take your time, enjoy. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, you get the best deals always at nitrotek.co.uk, and I'll see you again soon.